Hi guys, this is Albert the analyst. So for today, or for this video I should say, I'll be making some predictions for the men's 100 meters at the upcoming Prefontaine Classic. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the men that will be participating in this one will be Jeremiah Azu, who has a season's best of 10.17. Ackeem Blake, who has a season best of 9.88, which is an equal PB. Great going there. He achieved that at the national trials in Jamaica last week. Trayvon Bromell, jeez, this man, respect to you, Trayvon Bromell. He was dealing with injuries for multiple years, and look at him back with a season's best of 9.84, which he ran in just a few races. Like he's back. That's how you make a statement. That's how you make a comeback. After Trayvon, we have Christian Coleman with a season's best of 10.06. For Christian, he switched camps, and he's now with Star Athletics, where his girlfriend Sha'Carri is. And I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting in him switching camps, but I guess I was expecting a bit more than his performances lately, which he is close to 10 seconds each time, which I want us to be mindful of. Because while he's not winning any of the races, please be mindful that you don't necessarily need to be winning to be performing. The fact that he keeps running close to 10 seconds means that he could go under 10 seconds and run something crazy. He could run a 9.7. So I don't want us to keep, I see persons bashing him or jeering him or mocking him because he keeps losing races and he's not yet broken 10. But once you're constantly close to that sub 10 barrier, anything is possible once you go under it. I want us to be mindful of that. However, I think it's just that we're so much used to him eventually, breaking 10 seconds by this point of the season that we're just a bit concerned. So I hope that Christian shows us, that, hey, I'm here. Club, which regardless of the club I'm at, I'm great. So hoping for a sub 10 from him tomorrow, or later today, I should say. There is Brandon Hicklin, who has been consistently running close to 10 on the circuit, and then he eventually went sub 10 with 9.93, which is a personal best. Zharnel Hughes is also participating with a season's best of 10.05. I'm hoping to see him dip under 10 seconds as well. I think it's about time this, considering where we are in the season. Lachlan Kennedy, with a season's best of 9.98, which is also a personal best. That's some great going there. Kishane Thompson, the big man, the man to beat, the favorite, with a season's best as well as personal best of 9.75, achieved just last week at the Jamaican National Trials in Kingston. This young man, whenever I do my analysis, whenever I make commentary on certain things, the reason why I rarely mention Kishane, especially in terms of improvement, Kishane barely has anything to improve on in terms of, let me rephrase. He barely has anything to critique because he's always improving. He's always working on his weak points. You'll note, for example, that for every single race that he's run this year, or almost every race, he dipped. He ran through the line. Last year, he did not do that. We complained about that. Some persons even said that, him not running through the line and dipping is probably why he lost to Lyles last year. So I'm glad that he learns from his mistakes and he comes out, puts together what he has learned from those mistakes, and we got 9.75. I'm expecting great things from him. And then the last person who's also in this race is Bayanda Walaza, who I'm very proud of for at such a young age. He's competing against the big boys, and he's holding his own. You get what I mean? And he himself, he acknowledges that, hey, I might not beat them, but I am learning how to, and I love that. He has a season's best as well as personal best of 9.94, so that's really good that he's under the 10. His season's best is under the 10-second barrier. I would love to see him crack it again. Now for the predictions. In first place, I have Kishane Thompson running 9.7 low or faster, because that young man can definitely run 9.6. I don't need to explain why. In second place, I have Trayvon Bromell. Trayvon ran 9.84 after just 3 to 4 races. He hasn't raced much since, so I know that he has a lot to give and a lot in the tank. In third place, I have Ackeem Blake. Ackeem ran that 9.88, and he showed guts with that 9.88 last week at the trials, and I feel as though he's a consistent 100-meter runner, and I would not be shocked if he runs a PB next week. And I also would not be shocked if he comes second. But I think the first place is definitely wrapped up with Kishane. But Ackeem, I have him for third, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes second, and I would not be surprised by a PB. And then the Brandon Hicklin is, let me just quickly confirm here, but I think that I put him down as, yeah. So Brandon Hicklin and Christian Coleman are my two dark horses. Reason being, as I said, they have both been running consistently close to 10. And when Brandon Hicklin went sub 10, he ran 9:93. Now, Christian Coleman has been consistently running close to 10. What that means is, once he goes under that 10-second barrier, he could go under it by a landslide. He could run 9.7, as I said. He could run 9.8 low, and that could place him in even second or third place. So, both Brandon and Christian have been very consistent in going close to 10. And so once they do dip under 10, they could do so by a good enough margin to even cause them to upset the top three that I've listed. Zharnel Hughes, Bayanda, Walaza, Jeremy Azu. I expect those three to fill out the next three spots. Lachlan would be, would also be next. Ultimately, I'm expecting a fast race. I'm expecting a good race. I just want everybody to try to execute as best as they can, and of course, finish healthy. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing what the men bring, especially Kishane, because we are all putting a lot of expectations on him, and what I love is he doesn't let that get to him. So let's see what this man does, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. Wishing the athletes all the best. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and yeah, just help the channel to grow, because that's how I'll be able to consistently do this. If I see where there's growth, of course I'll keep doing videos, but if I don't see growth, then I might feel a bit what's the word, deterred, and we don't want Albert deterred. So like, share, subscribe, support the thing. Sure. All right, bye guys.